Good evening. Welcome to South Asian Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Friday, the 29th of May. Pakistan bans telecast of AXACT own news channel. Bangladeshi Hindu migrants to get citizenship in India. And IIFA set to honour Bollywood's best for 2014 in Malaysia. And now for all the details. Pakistan Information Ministry has sought the suspension for broadcast of Bold News, the television channel owned by IT major AXACT. The company is facing a multi-level probe after it was accused of running an international fake education certificate racket.
The Information Ministry on Thursday wrote to Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority or PEMRA not to broadcast Bold News until the investigation into the fake certificate scam is complete. This comes even as the Federal Investigation Agency team probing the case continues to interrogate Shoaib Sheikh, the CEO of AXACT, in the multi-million-dollar scam. Sheikh, who was arrested late on Wednesday, was remanded till June 7th. The FIA team raided the AXACT office in Karachi and recovered a large number of university degrees and student identification cards.
तकरीबन इसमें लाखों की तादाद से डिग्रीज हैं और स्टूडेंट्स के कार्ड्स हैं और भी काफ़ी कुछ मटेरियल है तो इतनी तादाद में मिलना मेरे ख्याल में हमारे पास अभी इतनी एविडेंस आ गई है प्राइमा फेसाई हम समझते हैं कि केस हम इनके खिलाफ कर सकते हैं.
Karachi-based AXACT, which calls itself to be Pakistan's largest software company, got into trouble after the New York Times published a report last week claiming that the company was running a global online counterfeit certificate racket. Since the scandal broke out, AXACT is facing probes for a number of charges, including fraud and tax evasion.
Indian government has decided to issue an executive order granting residential permits to Hindus who have migrated from Bangladesh, reports say. The move is seen to change the fate of thousands of Bangladeshi Hindus living in various parts of the country.
The move will grant relief to thousands of minorities from Bangladesh who live in various parts of India but do not have papers to support their residential status. The decision has reportedly been taken as part of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's electoral promise to grant citizenship to the religious minorities coming from the neighbouring nation. Around 8 million people belonging to the Hindu community had fled to India following the 1965 and 1971 wars between India and Pakistan. The cut-off date for those who want to avail the proposal includes the migration which took place till December 31, 2014. The move, however, is likely to affect the northeastern province of Assam, which shares an extensive border with Bangladesh. According to the Assam Accord of 1985, signed between the provincial government and federal government, refugees who crossed the border after 1971 are to be deported. So far, the immigration of Muslims from Bangladesh into India, mostly in Assam, has been a dominant issue in the politics of the region.
Sri Lankan cabinet has postponed the final decision on electoral reforms until its next meeting. This came after the parliament failed to reach a consensus due to heated discussion.
The legislation is aimed at changing the electoral system of the country. It, however, could not receive a go-ahead due to strong opposition by the country's smaller political parties, which feared that the proposed reforms would be disadvantageous to them. The cabinet has now empowered President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to decide on the announcement of the new system in a gazette notification subject to agreement by the constituent parties of the ruling United People's Freedom Alliance. This comes ahead of Sri Lanka's attempts at having a new parliament in September. Soon after assuming power in January, President Sirisena had called for parliamentary elections 2 years before its schedule in an attempt to purge the government of his predecessor Mahinda Rajapaksa's appointees, whom he accused of cronyism and nepotism.
Pakistani authorities have begun a drive to identify between its citizens and refugees living in the country. The move has, however, left some 100,000 settlers, most of them of Afghan origin, out of record as they have been classified as non-Pakistanis. It followed a decision by the National Database and Registration Authority on NADRA to either block or refuse the renewing of the computerized national identity cards, claiming that they were suspects or aliens. This has left many without any identification documents, making it impossible for them to buy property or own a business. Pakistan began a mass identification drive across the country following the Peshawar Army School attack in December, which killed 145 people, mostly students. It had also deported thousands of Afghan refugees to their homeland in its aftermath. Pakistan is home to some 2 million Afghans, mostly people who fled their own nation in the 1970s and 80s following the Soviet occupation or were forced to seek refuge during the hardline Taliban regime. Venued in the foothills, it gave a perfect delight to art lovers. Take a look at how this splendid symposium gave the artists a chance to display their skills.
India's northern tourist hotspot Shimla came alive with illustrative colours with the picturesque backdrop of nature adding to the strokes. The Shimla Art Festival, which kicked off on Thursday, is seeing a galaxy of artists from across the country gathering to commemorate 200 years of the city. The Gallery of Fine Arts not only gave a glimpse of the scenic beauty of Shimla but also highlighted its culture and tradition in the lap of Himalayas.
आर्ट जो है हमारे कल्चर का एक हिस्सा है और उसको अगर हम कल्चर को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो हमें आर्ट को भी प्रमोट करना होगा. जो हम सदियों से देखते हैं अपनी हिस्ट्री भी, जो मिनिएचर आर्ट है हमारा, आज भी हम उसको देखते हैं, फॉलो करते हैं. जो गैलरीज में, जो नेशनल मॉडर्न आर्ट गैलरी में भी लगी हुई है, अभी डिस्प्ले हुई है, तो इस तरह से हम अपने आर्ट के थ्रू हम अपनी हिस्ट्री को भी जानते हैं.
The 4-day event also boasted of 3D paintings, live portrait making and calligraphy art by 10 artists from 6 Indian states, apart from several musical performances.
India's southern port city of Kochi will host the 2017 FIFA Under-17 Soccer World Cup. This will be the first FIFA tournament the cricket-crazy country will be organising in nearly 80 years.
FIFA officials on Thursday confirmed that Kochi will be one of the cities that will host the 2017 Junior World Cup. Other cities which are under consideration to organize the tournament include Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Panaji. A high-level team of the FIFA, including tournament director Javier Kepi, who visited the southern city, confirmed that the world body was satisfied with the preparation.
He had a look at all the preparation, the papers, the documentation and everything for all the possible venues for the Under-17 World Cup. I can tell you this much, that less than 5 of them passed or have got the first stage of selection or the first provisional selection. And I'm really happy to announce that Kochi is one of the cities that has been selected.
Southern Kerala, along with West Bengal, Goa and the northeastern states, are the few provinces where soccer is popular in India, which otherwise is considered a cricket-crazy nation. The trend has, however, been changing for some time now, mainly with the introduction of the Indian Super League, a multi-city soccer league in India. Kochi is also home to the Kerala Blasters team, which finished as runners-up in the first season of ISL last year. With hosting the tournament, India will now have a historic chance to make its World Cup debut. It is also the first time India will be playing in a FIFA tournament, since hosting the big league will give the nation an automatic entry into the game.
Bollywood has indulged in enough films around militancy and cross-border conflicts. While most of them give a dose of emotions and drama, this weekend's release might leave you in giggles. Take a look.
मैं डॉक्टर नहीं हूँ, हम लोग पाकिस्तानी नहीं, हम लोग हिंदुस्तानी हैं in Karachi. Without passport, without any documents.
Even as Pakistan's security forces are busy fighting the Taliban on the battleground, here come 2 men who are set to do the same, but on the silver screen. Actors Arshad Warsi and Jackie Bhagnani are ready to face the terrorists, but in a humorous way with Welcome to Karachi. Bhagnani, along with leading lady Lauren Gottlieb, promoted their latest on a television set in Mumbai. He said the film wants to spread happiness.
आप दुनिया में कहीं भी हो, हंसना ज़रूरी है. And that's the only message we are trying to give. Just laugh your guts out. आप बॉर्डर के इस पार हो या उस पार हो, हंसने में मनाही नहीं है बस। हम इससे ज़्यादा कुछ ज्ञान देने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे।
A remake of Hollywood film Dumb and Dumber, Welcome to Karachi is a political satire in the backdrop of a militancy-struck Pakistan. Dancer turned actor Gottlieb, who hails from the US, said portraying a Pakistani girl was a challenge.
Yeah, definitely was challenging for me. I mean, different language, now it's Urdu, which I'm trying to learn, and a full Pakistani avatar that I have.
Welcome to Karachi is the story about two Indian guys who derive a plan to go to the United States. After several failed bids to attain a US visa and further to avoid the hassle, the two aim to reach America via a boat. But things go awry when a storm interrupts their journey and lands them in Karachi without their passports. What follows is their journey after they get trapped by the Taliban as they desperately try to find a way back to India.
The stage is ready for yet another edition of the Indian Oscars. The International Indian Film Academy or IIFA Awards is set to welcome Tinseltown biggies for a weekend of glitz, glamour and gaiety. This time in Malaysia.
Ahead of a star-studded global event, IIFA organisers held a pre-awards event in entertainment capital Mumbai. The film fiesta, known to promote young talent in Indian film industry, saw current heartthrobs Arjun Kapoor, Sonakshi Sinha and Shahid Kapoor leading the bandwagon. Superstars Anil Kapoor and Hrithik Roshan also joined the big league, adding glamour to the event. Anil Kapoor said, like all previous editions, this year's awards in Kuala Lumpur would also be spectacular.
This year, I have promised the Malaysian government and the Malaysian, all the people who came on at the press conference, that my instinct says, and my instinct is always right, and it's my gut level that this is going to be the best IIFA.
After travelling to cities like London, Johannesburg, Singapore, Amsterdam, Dubai and Bangkok, IIFA returns to Malaysia this year. It was earlier held at Genting Highlands in 2002. Roshan, who began his film career the same year IIFA was launched 15 years back, said his bond with the awards was very special.
Even though they are so far apart, they are able to connect and touch my heart and my soul. And this would not be possible, if IIFA didn't exist. So thank you, IIFA, for connecting the world, making the world, a more beautiful place, more connected place.
Haider, mera intiqam lena.
2014 blockbuster Haider, which is contending for Best Film, Best Director and Best Actor categories, is expected to hit the bullseye. Queen, which recently won the National Award, is also in the run-up with leading lady Kangana Ranaut and director Vikas Bahal. While Amir Khan is aiming to win big with his film PK, Priyanka Chopra, who played Mary Kom in the biopic, is also in the league. Other films like Two States and Highway are also in the lineup to the top categories. Arjun Kapoor, who is set to host the big show alongside his actor friend Ranveer Singh, said it was a lifetime opportunity.
To be able to do in 3 hours is entertain you, excite you, encourage you, motivate you and make you realize what potentially IIFA is all about.
Ever since its inception in 2000, the annual IIFA Awards are dedicated to promoting Indian cinema globally. The 16th edition of the awards is slated to be held between 5th to 7th June this year. Bollywood's upcoming big-ticket movie, Dil Dhadakne Do, is set to have a gala opening during the IIFA weekend.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Pakistan bans telecast of AXACT own news channel. Bangladeshi Hindu migrants to get citizenship in India. And IIFA set to honour Bollywood's Best for 2014 in Malaysia. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.